Hey friends, my name is Linda and this is Kelly, and you're watching the Grow Curriculum Deep Dive for the series Make It or Break It from Grow Kids Volume 6. For the next few minutes, we're going to give you a big picture overview of what you can expect during the series so you'd be better prepared to teach it. But we're also going to take an in-depth look at some of the specifics of the series that you definitely don't want to miss.
If you're a Grow user, our goal is to give you a head start in preparing for this series. And if you're not a Grow user, we love you. That's cool. Feel free to steal some of these ideas anyways. So, in case you're new to these deep dives, this is what Linda and I do. First, we will give you a series overview, and then we will take a look at the theme, then the structure, and some final tips so that you will have absolutely everything that you need to get started with Make It or Break It.
Okay, Make It or Break It is a series all about creation and early humanity. More specifically, we're looking at the stories in Genesis that contrast God's ability to make good things and humans' tendencies to break things and how God restores the things that we do break. Like in week 1, kids hear about how God created the world in Genesis 1 through 2 and called all the created things good. That's why this week's big idea is a sweet and simple truth: God makes good things.
In week 2, we go to Genesis chapter 3 for the story of the fall of the first humans. Even though Adam and Eve disobeyed and were evicted from the garden, God continued to care for them. And even though we would not know this yet, the relationship between God and humans would be restored one day. And that's why this week's big idea is God unbreaks what's been broken.
And yes, we do know unbreak is not a real word, but we wanted to be cute and used the word make or break in each of our big ideas. And so if that makes you a little squirmy, feel free to change it to God fixes what's been broken. That brings us to week 3, and we're looking at Genesis chapter 4 now for the story of Cain and Abel. Now, beyond seeing this as something of a cautionary tale of how our jealousy and anger could drive us to do regrettable things, we can help kids wonder how things might have been had these brothers celebrated the uniqueness God had gifted to each of them. So to emphasize that, this week's big idea reminds us God made us different on purpose.
And finally, in week 4, kids hear the story in Genesis 11 about the Tower of Babel. In this story, it's the humans who are making and God who is breaking, because what people were building was not in alignment with God's plans. So this week's big idea is both a truth and a challenge. We can honor God with the things that we make.
And our memory verse for the month comes from Hebrews chapter 3, verse 4, which reminds kids that all the best things are built by God. For every house is built by someone, but God is the builder of everything. Okay, now it's time to talk about the theme. This month's decorating theme is building blocks because, again, we're talking about God being able to create and rebuild things even when we destroy them. So this can be anything from Minecraft and Roblox to Lego bricks, which is basically everywhere, especially in my house. We step on them daily. They are painful. Kelly, can you give us a sneak peek of some of the things we recommend for the series?
Absolutely. So Make It or Break It is such a versatile theme. You could go Lego, you could go Lincoln Logs, you could go cardboard boxes. Let your imagination run wild. And Linda, I'm going to do something a little crazy. So take a deep breath and buckle up. Are you ready? This recommendation is not in the programming guide, okay? But one idea that I think would be super fun is don't decorate ahead of time. Incorporate the idea of decorating into week 1 of this series. Let your kids be the builder of your set. Provide them with whatever materials you want or you have, and then let them get to work making it together. Now, if winging it is not your style, based on Linda's face, I don't think she likes that recommendation. But if winging it is not your style, then you can also check out these awesome backdrops that are easy up, easy down, and will make your space awesome. The other recommendation that we have for this series is, you know that Linda and I love snack time. So this month we recommend having kids make and then break by eating their own snacks. Whether you provide Lunchables, graham crackers and frosting, or even these super delicious candy bricks that we found, this is a super fun and easy way to get your kids invested in the make it or break it theme.
You know, I actually really do love the idea of winging it and creating your space together. Mostly because I was inspired by Legoland. They have some of these stations where kids can make little things with the dots and put it up on the wall. So that'd be great. And then the ministry space will be personalized to what the kids made. So I really like that idea a lot. Sorry, my face was like fighting to see, do I love it or is my type A personality going to take over? So but yes, thank you so much for that suggestion and all the other ones, all the other great ones you gave us. I especially love the snack time ideas. I did not think about Lunchables. That's a brilliant idea. So make sure you all go check out the programming guide where you can see more of Kelly's brilliance, where you can see some craft ideas, prizes, and other snack ideas, even more decoration ideas if you are not the winging it type. And make sure you also tag us in your photos so we can see how you did. Not that we're going to grade you, we just really want to, we're just curious. All right, now we want to give you a look at the structure of the series. So for those of you who are familiar with Grow, you know that some things do stay the same from series to series, like our teaching is always broken up into 3 sections, which is the what, the so what, and the now what. So in the what section, we try to give a little teaser into what's coming up. So we play some games, we ask some questions to try to get kids to kind of wonder, what is today's lesson going to be about? And then we move over to the so what section, which talks about the Bible story, the main Bible story. There's also a secondary passage in there, object lessons, the big idea gets revealed in there, and you can show one of our teaching videos, Callie's World for preschool or Grow TV for elementary. And then you transition over to the now what section where we do more application pieces like reflection and response and discussion questions and small group activities. This is also where you can learn the memory verse together. So those are usually the pieces that stay the same.
Now, while the umbrella structure stays the same throughout our curriculum, within each series, we actually use a bunch of different building blocks, goes with the theme, didn't do that on purpose, to help make each teaching series unique. So that's what we want to talk about right now. Linda, can you tell us what are some of the things that you want to point out to our viewers from Make It or Break It?
So there are a lot of really cool things in this series, and like Kelly was saying, they are building blocks so you can customize it very much like Legos, and you can move things around to see how they work best for you and your ministry. But I do want to zoom in on 2 of the building blocks, and those are the activities and the big idea reveal.
Great. So we know that the most important part of your time together is to teach the Bible story, right? But in order to build trust and form relationships with your kids, we suggest that you also lead kids in various activities. Whether it's a fun icebreaker to get the kids curious about how the game relates to today's lesson, or a review game to help reinforce the teaching, activities will help our kids open up and be more engaged with the material.
Right, and with a theme like building blocks, the possibilities are infinite, as you'll see once you peruse the lesson for yourself. So, for example, each week's opening activity is one actually called Make It or Break It, where you get to show a video of a stunt and you can get your kids to guess whether the people will make it or break it. Super fun, right? And we provide these videos for you, or you can look up videos of your own to show, like Nailed It challenges, for example. And we also have this on the Grow Games app. We also have fun small group activities each week that are on theme, like making crumpled tissue paper mosaics, drawing a Lego self-portrait, or making things out of perler beads or fuse beads. Kind of gives it that Minecraft look. And each of these activities is accompanied by descriptions of how it connects to the lesson that day, so make sure you don't skip over that.
All of those sound super fun and unique, and I love that they will hit all different kinds of kids. Boys, girls, doesn't matter the age, everybody will find something that they like within this series. So now, Linda mentioned the big idea reveal. So in Grow, the big idea reveal is a segment during the teaching time where you get to tell the kids the single takeaway for the day. The big idea tells a simple truth that we are trying to communicate to kids about each week's Bible story. And to make it more sticky in their heads, we try to make these reveals as interesting and thematic as possible.
So for Make It or Break It, we are going to lean into the building block theme. And so you want to prepare some boxes of any size. It can be cardboard boxes, gift boxes, shoe boxes, doesn't matter. They can all be different if you want. And then you want to lightly secure the boxes together by taping them with painter's tape in the back. And then you use a thick marker to write the big idea in large letters across all of the boxes so they kind of like bleed into all of the different boxes. And then you take off the painter's tape and you kind of like scramble the boxes in a pile and you invite kids to come up to help you unscramble them. And so you'll ask them, hey, could you help me unbreak today's big idea? And they'll stack the blocks in the correct order. And ta-da, there you go.
Listen, this series, we're having you fly by the seat of your pants with decorating. We're making up words. Like, we're just going crazy in this Make It or Break It series, Linda. Like, what's happening? I don't know. But I love it so much. And I think that your kids will love it too. So now that we've covered the overview and the theme and the structure of this series, here are a few miscellaneous tips from Linda and I to help you make the most of this series.
Okay, tip number 1 is to host a Lego tournament. Now, either to kick off or wrap up the series, you can host this mini event where you invite families and kids to a Lego building contest. Now, you can provide parameters for what they should build, like scenes from this month's Bible stories, for example, or you can just let their creativities run wild and just see how crazy they get. And you can give away Lego sets as prizes, or you can make a little trophy out of Legos and super glue them together, and that would be a fun little keepsake for the winners.
Tip number 2 goes along similar with tip number 1, but this is a Make It or Break It series on creation and the book of Genesis. And so we thought it would be really fun to have kids get creative and to make their own Garden of Eden. Now, you can use Legos similar to tip number 1 in your Lego tournament, or you can give them free rein to design their own garden based on what they read in scripture and how they think it may have looked. But Legos, Play-Doh, even some sort of fun candy creation, let their imaginations go wild as they make their own version of the Garden of Eden.
I love that. So you can tie that in with a tip of decorating your whole space into a garden, or they can make miniature little dioramas. I love that so much. Guys, it's been so fun to hang out with you in these deep dives. So we hope that these tips have helped you jumpstart as you get ready to start Make It or Break It in your ministries. Let us know what you think. Let us know how it's going. You can always find us on Facebook at Stuff You Can Use, a children's ministry community. You can find us on Instagram. You can get us through email. Like, there are so many ways you can find us. But we love hearing from you, so tag us in all those things and let us know how it's going. Kelly, do you have anything else you want to add?
Nope, I don't think so. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. Make sure that you tag us like Linda said. If you have any questions or need anything, reach out. We are here to help. We love you, we support you, and we hope that Make It or Break It is the best series ever.